Hi, welcome. I'd like to tell you about our project. I'd like to tell you and walk you through our journey. So come with us on this journey. Our project involves the establishment of an educational complex in rural Haiti that will serve as a development hub for the community. This multi-pronged project is engineered by a team of university professors in partnership with the group Rive, formerly known as Honor for Haiti, or FONO. We are a 501c3 organization created by Haitian and American scholars invested in providing both access to and quality education to disadvantaged school children living in remote areas in Haiti. Based on the belief that education is key to empowering individuals and communities, this team has developed a long-term strategy for encouraging and supporting equal access to quality education for all Haitian children, sustainable agriculture, as well as environmentally conscious developmental projects. As part of this strategy, the team has begun gathering resources needed to implement and integrate educational program in Lagoon, a rural community in Central Plateau region of Haiti. This strategy is based on a model that establishes educational complexes in rural regions with the potential to serve as developmental hubs for these communities. Access to education in rural Haiti is challenged by many things, including the lack of resources, infrastructure, the lack of qualified teachers, and social structures that favor sending students, when a family can afford it, to the city for education. Lack of educational access has trickle-down effects on all community development efforts, particularly when youth choose not to return to a region due to few economic opportunities. While farming used to be the source of revenue, traditional practices of agriculture for living and even subsistence agriculture have further thwarted social mobility. Parents are compelled to move to the closest city in search of opportunities for their children, or even send their young children away in hopes of finding opportunities. This not only pulls families apart, but puts huge financial and cultural burdens on the family and as a whole weakens the community. Our vision is to develop programs that emphasize significant local development, of which education is the cornerstone. Sadly, according to the World Human Bank Capital Index, a child born today in Haiti will grow up to be only 45% as productive as he or she would have been had they enjoyed full education and health. Despite these very sobering statistics, we are inspired to work with the community to help provide access to education, which we believe will contribute towards improved personal and communal development. In addition to social and political turmoil, Haiti has faced disasters which have exacerbated the crisis of human development and community development. The 2021 earthquake in the southern region has added to the plight of the society that was already navigating challenges posed by various disasters. The aftermath of the earthquake in 2010 continues to be a strain to social and economic development, as resources have had to be reallocated to fundamentally institutional governing infrastructures. This disaster of astronomical proportions significantly diminished educational access and quality in a country where over 60% of the population is under the age of 21. 55% lack basic literacy skills, and 70% are unemployed. According to UNICEF, a decade later, Haiti continues to face multiple crises: worsening food insecurity and malnutrition, waterborne diseases, epidemics, and high vulnerability to natural disasters have placed added pressures on women and children. Natural disasters, along with the political instability, have made it difficult for the country to adequately address the educational needs of Haitian children, particularly in rural areas. Completing a K-12 education is a challenge for many children who live in Haiti, particularly those who live in rural areas, including where we will be working, Lagoon. There is one public school in Belader and one in Las Caobas, the two adjacent cities. These two schools are not only too far for the children who live in Lagoon, but they are overcrowded as demand for registration in these cities far exceed the capacity of these schools, according to our preliminary assessment. Many children age in the lower central plateau either rely on friends or family members who live overseas to help them pay for school tuition in order to attend school in the cities, or to stay in Lagoon without access to school. In some cases, parents are able to make partial payments for tuition, but students are sent home when their parents cannot keep up with the payments. It is crucial that school-age children in rural areas have access to education free of charge. This program aims to address not only the school issue, but also the language issues within the Haitian educational system. Over 90% of Haitian families are monolingual Creole speakers. The remaining 10% also Creole speakers, but have varying degrees of fluency in French. Their level of French can be assessed according to, in general, their individual degree of aptitude throughout their school years, as well as some form of exposure to the French language. This implies that all Haitian students are primarily Creole speakers, and more specifically, the vast majority of Haitian students are monolingual Creole speakers. Regrettably, in Haiti, instruction is primarily in French. This language issue intersects with a school failure rate of around 70%, as measured by the state-mandated high school exams. The issue of language plays a significant factor in the inequality of opportunities for success at the level of education as a predictor sine qua non of overall social mobility in life. Those who were born in families that were able to initiate them to some level of spoken French have the possibility to better schools than the vast majority of students whose parents are monolingual speakers. This situation also helps alienate students from their own culture, given the relationship between language and culture. The educational system thus necessitates an approach to education and language that takes into consideration the historical, geopolitical context, and emphasizes the plurilingualism of Haiti. Our educational initiatives are designed in a way that values the importance of Haitian Creole as the most widely spoken language in Haiti, with a consideration for the pedagogy appropriate status of French, Spanish, English in Haiti. These languages and therefore cultures play a geopolitically relevant role in Haiti. We believe that providing these students with access to free education, they will be more likely to lead an enriched life and reduce the odds of living in abject poverty currently found in the slums of Port-au-Prince or neighboring Dominican Republic working in sugarcane plantations. They also will find purpose in Haiti and help rebuild, replenish, and represent a now dwindling educated population, being less likely to engage in illicit and risky migration attempts either to the United States or elsewhere, which could eventually cost them their lives. We ask you to come with us on this journey. We'd like to share with you our process. More importantly, we look forward to growing as a community. Thank you.